right now.
A mountain of smoke and fire dominating the skyline along I-37 South. This after a firewood plant burst into flames. Multiple fire departments, the Atascosa County Sheriff's Office and Atascosa EMS rushed to this site earlier this evening. And so far, officials say multiple buildings have been engulfed. The Atascosa Fire Marshal tells us this happened in the 1700 block of Corgi Road, just off of I-37 in Pleasanton. They got the call around 6:30 this evening. They had the building WW Wood Incorporated is a wood manufacturing business. And one man we spoke to said he could see the smoke from across town.
And so I was coming off of 1604 by Randolph. And as soon as I crossed 10, I could see the smoke coming. When I was on 1604, I said, well, that's over by the house. Looks like it's by the house. And I saw the big water truck get on 1604 and get off on 37 South.
Authorities say no one was inside the building at the time of the fire, and so far there are no reports of injuries. As for the cause of the fire, that is still under investigation. And Fair Oaks Ranch Police and Bexar County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a murder in northwest Bexar County. Fair Oaks Ranch Police say around 9:30 this morning they responded to an alleged homicide on Dewberry Ridge. A suspect then arrived at the Fair Oaks Ranch Police Department and was arrested. So far, police believe that this incident started as a domestic dispute. The investigation in this case is ongoing as well. An 8-year-old boy who was accidentally shot in the neck yesterday has now died. His name is Daniel KSAT. That's according to his family and the Bexar County Medical Examiner. The shooting happened Friday at a home on Bob Billa Street, not far from East South Cross Boulevard and Pecan Valley Drive. SAPD tell us a group of 4 kids were handling a gun when it went off and a bullet hit KSAT in the neck. At the time, KSAT was rushed to the hospital, but again has since died. Police said no parents were inside the home at the time, and a 13-year-old has been taken into custody while they investigate the shooting. Meanwhile, another scene nearby on the Southside has led to one man being killed after allegedly being shot by his girlfriend's son. This happened around 8:30 this morning on Bristol Avenue. Police say when they arrived to the home, they found the man dead outside with multiple gunshot wounds. The man's girlfriend told officers that he and her son had some kind of disagreement, and at some point, the son drove to the home and shot the man. Right now, it is not clear if that son has been arrested. And taking a look at live cam right now, it is about 82 degrees, and we have been lucking out with the heat because of so much cloud cover, Shelby.
Yeah, JP, that cloud coverage and that rain chances we saw earlier today. Now, most of us didn't see that widespread heavy downpours. It was very isolated at times, but some areas did receive some rainfall. Take a look at the rainfall totals of just the last 12 hours. You can see most of the rain fell along the coastal plains, but even then, as we take a look and take a few queries of the San Antonio area, we had just over 1/4 of an inch in the hill country. Closer to San Antonio, though, some areas did receive isolated 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch as you went up near Helotes. Now, once again, right now on authority radar, we're not really seeing any rain. Some of that is just feedback. But what we are tracking is more rain starting tomorrow morning. Still seeing another chance of our peak activity in the afternoon into the evening hours, finally dying down by the time we get to sunset. I'll break down your future cast of what you need to know coming up in just a bit.
Now do a look at how a home for a new arena for the San Antonio Spurs could be paid for. We've been talking about Project Marvel, the city's proposed downtown sports and entertainment district, for nearly a year. Well, yesterday afternoon, City Council heard an update after the Spurs committed to financing some of the arena. This information comes from the city manager, Eric Walsh. The San Antonio Spurs have pledged to pay $500 million in guaranteed coverage of cost overruns for a new arena. As for what the city would contribute, Walsh said between $350 and $500 million. But he emphasized these numbers are preliminary. City Council chose to wait to vote until more information comes in.
We will not submit a term sheet unless this body has provided feedback, which will be informed by the economic analysis and the community feedback.
The city manager says the economic analysis study findings will likely come next week. The mayor says she's expecting to continue discussions when that happens. New in the Nightbeat, a man has been arrested for a deadly shooting that occurred several weeks ago. This is 19-year-old Jason Timothy Gonzalez. Police say just before 8 in the morning on June 14th at an apartment on Huebner near Highway 87 and I-10, Gonzalez got into a fight with his brother. At some point, he fired a gun at his brother but missed. That bullet went across a breezeway and hit a 37-year-old in another apartment. She was rushed to the hospital where she later died. Gonzalez fled the scene but was identified by witnesses and arrested. He has since also been booked separately for charges ranging from aggravated robbery to unlawful carrying of a weapon. 3 San Antonio police officers accused of shooting a woman in her home in 2023 now have a trial date. Jury selection begins September 2nd. You might remember Melissa Perez, who was shot in her apartment just over 2 years ago during what San Antonio Police Chief William McManus called a mental health crisis. Court documents say Alfred Flores and Elizad Alejandro are charged with murder. Nathaniel Villalobos is charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Divers and dogs have played a critical role in recovering dozens of people from the flooded Guadalupe River. One dog from South Carolina has become a star of the search, rescue, and recovery efforts in the Hill Country. Night Team's Zaria Oates walks us through the K-9's routine and process.
Everybody meet Kite. No, this isn't your average story about adopting a pet. Kite is a working dog.
She is HRD, which is human remains detection.
Right now, she's working the Guadalupe River in the Hill Country.
Everything is based off of her nose. For them to be able to locate bodies in areas that we can't physically see or detect.
Have you guys been in different parts of the Hill Country?
We have been up in Leander. Mostly the first week I was all in just this area right here. Yeah.
But Kite and her handler are from the Carolinas.
She had finds in North Carolina, and we went up and worked Helene, a bunch of stuff, from cold cases with sheriff's offices to cases just like this, where there's just huge natural disasters.
Kite has played a key role in recovering people who died in the Hill Country floods.
Hey. What are some of the commands for?
Sook is her search command. Sook.
Cheryl will have Kite search and research areas she's already hit on to make sure people are actually found.
There was a body recovered in the area. And so this time when I ran her in there, she had no interest in the river. So I guess he was accurate on that information then.
And now that number of missing people has dropped a lot. How much more challenging does it become to find or recover people when there's not that many and there's a lot of water to check?
Like finding a needle in a haystack. And everything looks so different this time than it did last time when I was here. So it's hard for me to tell exactly where we're searching compared to last time because they've cleared up so much and it just looks so different.
That's why it's been so important to have different types of search teams looking.
I do search and rescue, and then we work with other organizations that do a lot of relief. I do a lot of flood. I grew up on the bayou, so I'm real good with the boat. A lot of my guys are Swiftwater certified.
No matter how small the number of missing people is, Kite, Cheryl, and the 50-star team will continue their efforts in the Hill Country.
It's still worth it. It's still worth the search to find that one individual.
In Center Point, I'm Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
And we appreciate all those efforts being made. More than 30 years ago, Antoinette Jordan was found murdered under a bridge, and the person responsible has never been caught. Texas Crime Stories returns tonight. And school districts coming together to ensure every kid has what they need to succeed. Devin Karp shows us how you can take advantage. Can you believe it? It's almost August, and that means back to school season is just around the corner. Now, the city, nonprofits, and schools are stepping up to make sure every kid has what they need to succeed. Our Devin Karp hopped around town to meet the people who are giving back.
I'm excited to go to school.
You're excited to go to school? What are you looking forward to about school?
To how to learn.
Yeah? No matter if it's the first day of a new school.
We're first grade, kindergarten, and daycare.
Or the return to another year of class, these kids are going to need supplies to get in.
It's her first time, so like me being a first-time mom and her going to school, it's very scary, you know.
And there's resources all over town full of people willing to help them.
These are the backpacks we're giving away to the community. You don't have to be an ADS student. It could be any community student.
Yeah.
Somebody that just needs a backpack and some school supplies.
Over here on the Eastside IDEA campus, they're welcoming in anyone who needs it to get clothes, backpacks, and supplies.
So I got a folder, pencils, and plenty of paper.
And over on the Southside at KSAT,
And everything's a little bit more expensive nowadays compared to when we were going to school. But it helps that we got one-stop shopping.
there was a line of people waiting to get supplies, along with food, folders, books, even vaccines and eye tests.
Yes, it's amazing. I think it's so exciting, especially for our community, for everybody to be able to have the opportunity to be able to get supplies.
These parents say they can always count on the community to help them through inflation, the rising cost of living, and tariffs.
It is very helpful for a lot of parents like me who don't have that resources and stuff, but organizations that do reach out and, hey, we have an event coming up. And it's always really, interesting to know that the community together works in things like this.
All while having a little bit of fun before the bell rings and school is in session.
That's my favorite part. That's why I want the toy.
You want a toy? That's your favorite part? Okay, we'll see what they have in there, all right? I'll see if I can get something done for you. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
That's got to be my favorite part, too, is a toy.
I hope he got his toy.
Not the coloring books and the writing utensils, the notebooks.
Oh, the toy.
So maybe some Hot Wheels. No?
I mean, my cat was playing with her little rain cloud toy today.
And we saw plenty of clouds as well
Which
today.
was perfect considering we saw the clouds and the rain today. And I mean, some areas did see some rain. It was very isolated, but once again, some areas did see some much needed rain. Most of it was closer to the Gulf Coast, closer to Hallettsville, near Edna, and even closer to Kennedy. But even then, the Hill Country and even Kerrville saw about just over 1/4 of an inch. In areas near Lytle, just over 1/2 an inch. So it was very isolated, and you can really tell here where it was. And even Kendall County didn't even really see any rain. But the rain and the cloud coverage did allow our temperatures to be a little more at bay. Today in San Antonio, we only got to about 96 degrees. Now, yes, it is still warm, and yes, we were still in the 90s, and we were average today. But we still aren't as warm as we were just a few days ago, where we did get to 100 degrees. Fredericksburg today got to about 91, Rock Springs 90, and then as you went closer to the coastal plains, once again, 84 degrees was the peak temperature today in Victoria, where they did see more consistent rain showers throughout the day. Now, the reason we saw the rain was all because of that low pressure system now currently sitting in Mexico. But note that you see that counterclockwise rotation. Well, that counterclockwise rotation allowed for all of that Gulf moisture to get brought into areas of Texas. Overnight tonight, we are going to continue to just see some cloud coverage for most of us, but tomorrow morning, by around sunrise, we are going to continue to see a few showers pop up, maybe a light sprinkle. But as we continue throughout the rest of the morning, we're going to start to see the daytime heating, and we're going to start to see the normal sea breeze showers we normally see in the morning. It's going to start in the afternoon really for San Antonio, but some of the coastal plains and even closer to Houston and Beaumont can see some shower activity and even some thunderstorms in the morning hours and around lunchtime. But as we go throughout the rest of your afternoon, that will continue to make its way to San Antonio. We are expecting once again another brief showers. They are going to be very sporadic at times and very brief, but they still can produce some nice rainfall for areas of San Antonio. But by sunrise tomorrow, or by sunset, excuse me, that's when we're going to start to see a little bit of relief for some people, especially in areas in the Hill Country where they are still hit hard and are still very saturated. Tomorrow in San Antonio, starting off with temperatures in those mid to upper 70s, even around 80 degrees already by lunchtime. But notice the rain chances. Yes, it's still about a 20% chance of rain in the morning, but the heaviest and the greater chance of rain is going to be in the afternoon to the evening hours. Peak temperatures only getting to about 94 degrees, but remember, the chances for rain are going to be in the afternoon to the evening hours. We are expecting 1/2 inch of rain for closer to San Antonio. We can see localized pockets of 1 to 2 inches, but flooding is unlikely, and we are not expecting any hail associated with these thunderstorms, which is a great news. I know people hear thunderstorms, they think of hail and severe. We're not expecting that. 30% chance of rain on tomorrow, drying things out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have the high pressure coming over, but what we are watching is more rain chances next week. Once again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, about a 30% chance of rain, with another upper level low making its way into areas of South Texas, keeping our temperatures a little more at bay next weekend. But before then, we're warming back up into the upper 90s, big blue H returning to areas of South Texas.
We are in summer, right? Because I don't
Yes.
see any triple digits on the board right now.
We
You
have
stop
only
it.
had 4 triple-digit days in the entire year of 2025. Normally, we're at least in the teens, or even previous years, we've had 47 days of 100 degrees.
Just last year, just a major difference. But we're not complaining.
No.
Very true.
No.
Thanks for that, Shelby. Now, Nick, Oxford, California, not the place to be for the faint of heart.
No.
And one young man, definitely brave, rocking the defending champs jersey at Cowboys camp.
That was big. That is bold by this young man, guys. It didn't matter if you were a Dallas Cowboys fan or maybe even a fan of a rival team. Somehow you were going to be involved in practice one way or another. Our Mary Rominger and Larry Ramirez will have more on that from California. Plus, the Houston Texans have announced a new name that's going into the Ring of Honor. We're going to have the details when we come back.
We just wanted somebody to pick him up and just give him a hug, man. So I'm happy I could make his day. That's all.
Kair Elam is Lion Kinging a young fan next on Big Board Sports.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Thomas J. Henry.
Well, it was an exciting day in a lot of ways for Cowboys fans for the opening ceremony, which officially started training camp. And that means hanging out with Cowboys Nation. During practice today, Kair Elam even celebrated with one lucky fan. And our Larry Ramirez and Mary Rominger have more on this very sweet moment. What's up, guys?
Yeah, thank you very much, Nick. So that video that you just showed of Kair Elam holding up a baby like Lion King because Elam had picked off Dak Prescott is an awesome piece of video and super cute.
So priceless. Loved that moment. It just so happened, Larry, I talked to that kid when I was interviewing fans before the opening ceremony. He's only 4 years old. He spoke so well, and now he had his a memory he'll never forget, probably.
Absolutely. And you know what? Speaking of another boy, a 10-year-old and his father were walking in front of the stands here. The boy was wearing his Eagles jersey, and Cowboys fans booed him relentlessly.
They really did. It was so loud, the boos. I couldn't believe it. It was just a 10-year-old kid walking by. I felt bad for him, but I did spot him and his dad getting escorted over to the VIP area. So when I saw them in there, I asked, what just happened? He said the Cowboys upgraded them to VIP for the rest of the day because they were booed relentlessly, like you said, Larry. Take a listen.
Well, we were walking in, and we got probably about 3/4 of the way through, and then all the Cowboys fans started booing him because he's the arch rival in the NFC. So.
Okay, and then what happened?
Then we just, we looked around some more. Then we just went and sat in our seats, and then somebody from over here, one of the security ladies or whatever, I guess, had said something to somebody, so they came over and got us and brought us into the VIP area.
There's a guy over there who had showed us a video on his phone. It was like someone made a full-on YouTube short or something.
Yeah.
On us walking here.
How did you feel when you were getting booed?
It was a bit embarrassing.
Oh. But I mean, it paid off, right? VIP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was showing my team proudly.
Respect to that kid right there. Die-hard fan.
Yep, wearing his team no matter what. All right, so the Cowboys will put on pads tomorrow, and the hitting will begin. Nick, back to you.
Now, thank you, guys. Let's take a look at the schedule for the rest of the weekend. All the times you see on your screen are in San Antonio times. Sunday is 1:45, a coach's press conference. Then at 1:45, the pads go on for practice. 3:15 p.m., players' interviews, and a sit-down with Jerry Jones.
And what exciting things do we have to look forward to when we go to games at NRG Stadium, Hannah?
When we take on the Denver Broncos, we will be putting Janice McNair into the Ring of Honor.
A co-founder of the Houston Texans, Mrs. Janice McNair, will be put into the Ring of Honor at NRG Stadium this upcoming season. The wife of late owner Bob McNair will be the 4th person to enter the Ring of Honor behind her husband, J.J. Watt, and Andre Johnson.
All throughout my career, as long as I've been in the NFL, guys are making highlight plays and shorts where You don't have to worry about getting hit. Now, when you put the pads on, it's a little different story. It's real football when you're able to put the pads on, and that's when the evaluation piece really starts to take place. It's like, that's how the game is played. It's a physical game. That's the way it's played in pads, and that's when we'll see guys start to truly separate themselves.
Well, Monday is hitting time for the Houston Texans. That's when their pads are going to go on for the first time at practice. They're going to have the day off tomorrow, but then bring in some of that physicality at 9 a.m. on Monday morning.
We got to go back to the 10-year-old kid in the Eagles jersey.
Okay.
Because the confidence to wear it at Cowboys camp after winning the Super Bowl for the Eagles and then also being a hated rival. And then Cowboys fans not holding back. We don't care that you're 10. We're going to build some character. And you took it like a champ.
And Philly fans have a song. I'm pretty sure there's certain words that we can't say on TV the way it goes, but it just ends with that you don't like us and we don't care.
If he can handle that, he can step into the next school year and handle anything.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that, Nick.
You're
Appreciate that. All right, still ahead, food, music, and coffee. Always people are coming together to help the Hill Country. How Texans are helping Texans. And more than 30 years later, the killer of Antoinette Jordan has yet to be found. Why her family is breaking their silence. Next. It's been more than 3 decades since a mother of 8 was found murdered under a bridge on the east side. Her killer has never been caught. But now, for the first time, one of her children, who was just a boy at the time, is speaking out, hoping that renewed attention will finally solve a 35-year-old case. KSAT's Erica Hernandez revisits the murder of Antoinette Jordan and the son who refuses to let her be forgotten.
Antoinette Jordan was 35 years old, a mother of 8. These are the memories her children hold on to. A loving mother full of joy.
Antoinette Jordan was my beautiful, lovely mother. I remember her singing as a child. She used to sing to us. Every time we would get hurt or injured, she would take care of us.
In the spring of 1990, at just 8 years old, Trevin Jordan says his family suffered a devastating loss. His oldest brother murdered, his death leaving his mother devastated.
But I remember my mom going through that, being in pain, crying, and not being able to stand. And she was hurt, depressed.
He had no idea that just 2 months later would be the last time he would ever see his mother.
I just remember her leaving, and I just remember waking up and her not being there, and I knew something was wrong because my mom, when she go out, she'd always be there the next day.
Antoinette Jordan was found under the North Walter Street Bridge. At the time, police say a person walking noticed a woman laying face up under the bridge. Antoinette had been shot, and because her clothing was in disarray, police believe she had also been sexually assaulted.
She didn't deserve to be raped and murdered under a bridge in the dark by a coward, They may still be out there. We don't know.
Trevin and his siblings were eventually split up and put in the foster system. Growing up wasn't easy for him, but he held on to the memories with his mother.
Jordan was my mom's last name, and that's all we had. That's all we had left of her.
Now, with a family of his own, he's looking to find out who killed her.
I feel like God's telling me it's time to find out what happened to my mother, get to the bottom of it.
As for the investigation, Trevin says at one point investigators told his family they knew who did it.
They only give us lip service. Your dad did it. We couldn't prove it. My dad always maintained his innocence to the day he died, that he didn't do it. I think they used my dad as a scapegoat, and the perpetrator is still out there, I believe.
SAPD Online has Antoinette's case listed under their cold case section, even saying that items collected from her case were going to be resubmitted for analysis as new technology may help them solve the case.
Every time a family member called, they say, "No, we didn't do any testing," and they hang up. That's all we get over the years.
Trevin is still desperate for answers and doesn't want his mother to be forgotten.
It hurt to see people drive over that bridge, Walter Street Bridge, every day, and don't know my mom lost her life right there. No one put a flower out, a balloon out. No one did nothing for my mom. No one spoke up for my mom. So now I'm here to speak up for my mom.
Now, we reached out to SAPD for an update, but they told us we had to file an open records request, which we have since done. We'll be awaiting the results of that when it comes in. But if you have any information on this case, you can call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Still ahead, they came to help and now they're staying until the job's done. Learn how one relief organization is cementing their place in the Kerrville area. And a group of DJs and coffee fans came together to help the Hill Country in their own way. We'll show you how next. As long as it takes, those 5 words we've heard a lot this month from volunteers helping the Hill Country recover. That's why the group Mercy's Chef says they're not going anywhere. The nonprofit announced it's adding a permanent kitchen in Kerrville. The group has already prepared 60,000 meals for neighbors, visitors, and first responders in Kerr County. It's also planning to hire people living in the area who need work. Mercy Chefs hopes to have the kitchen up and running by August 4th out of the Light on the Hill Church. Now to more help for the Hill Country, this time for people in need of medical assistance. Items like walkers, wheelchairs, and medical devices were collected and donated in partnership with the TBI Warrior Foundation, an organization dedicated to improving the quality of life for veterans and people with disabilities. Victor Medina, the president of the TBI Warrior Foundation, was injured during his time serving in Iraq and says his experience motivates his work. He told us the foundation delivery will benefit between 2,500 and 5,000 families. And what do coffee, DJs, and the Creamery District have in common? All 3 of those things came together to raise donations for the Hill Country today. Creamery Coffee hosted a number of DJs to play their sets and get people pumped while collecting essentials like food, hygiene items, and diapers for the victims of the Hill Country floods.
It's important to use our platforms. We're blessed with really great support system. Everybody on the lineup has a community of people who love and support them, and I think putting that towards something good is really important and something the world needs.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, where more help is on the way to the Hill Country. Country legend George Strait is hosting a benefit concert for those impacted by the floods. George and Vaqueros del Mar will be joined by many other country greats, including William Beckman, Ray Benson, Wade Bowen, and many more. Donations will be collected by the Vaqueros del Mar Texas Flood Relief Fund and distributed to the families directly affected by the floods. And if you're looking for a way to help, we here at KSAT, KPRC, our sister station, our parent company, Graham Media Group, along with Gray Media, are teaming up for the Together for Texas donation drive. Just scan the QR code on your screen and it'll take you directly to the donation page. The campaign supports relief and recovery efforts for families and communities severely impacted by the disaster. All of the funds raised will go directly to the on-the-ground efforts in a flood-affected area through the Salvation Army. Looking ahead to Monday, you can roll up your sleeve to help the Hill Country. District 9 plans to hold a blood drive to help the Hill Country flood victims. The blood drive is expected to take place outside the District 9 City Council office. It runs 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. You can make an appointment. Walk-ins are also welcome while the space allows for it. Taking a look at live cam, Shelby, we've seen lots of clouds today. They're cleared out for the night, but we're expecting to see more tomorrow morning.
We are, JP, and although that cloud coverage and the rain kept us a little cooler today, take a look what happened just earlier this week. We did hit a triple-digit day. We actually hit our 4th triple-digit day this year, and so far, once again, we've only had 4 days where we've gotten to 100 degrees or more. 3 of them were all within a span of about a week in May. Now, years previous, we've continued to see 12, 31, and even 47 days where we were above 100 degrees. This week, we are expected to get close, but we're continuing to see the chance of rain continuing tomorrow. Higher chances in the afternoon, seeing some light pockets of about an inch or 2 closer to areas near the Gulf Coast, near the coastal plains, and flooding is unlikely. We're not seeing these storms we're not expecting severe storms to produce hail. We are seeing a light rain, maybe about half an inch to some areas closer to San Antonio. That will continue throughout tomorrow, seeing a high pressure come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll break down your futurecast of what you need to know for your week ahead coming up after the break.
A man is dead after being shot by New Braunfels police who say he pulled a knife and lunged at them. This happened around 4 this afternoon at an apartment complex in the 4500 block of San Antonio Street, not far from Highway 337 and I-35. New Braunfels police say officers were responding to a disturbance between a man and a woman in the area. When they found the pair, they say the man lunged at them with that knife. Officers opened fire, killing that man. No one else was hurt. The 2 officers have been placed on leave pending an investigation by New Braunfels Police and the Texas Rangers Department. Looking at weather, we've been talking about it all day. Rain chances have been almost a constant for weeks, and it's continuing now.
Yeah, that's exactly right, JP. We're continuing to see those high pressure systems and the low pressure systems really get moisture in the Gulf and make its way into San Antonio. Now, we do have another system coming in. Tomorrow is going to continue to be the system we saw this last weekend. So here's what you need to know. Temperatures right now still at about 10:42 p.m. sitting in those 80s, 80 degrees in San Antonio, 77 in New Braunfels, 84 in areas of Del Rio. And temperatures that are still a little warmer currently are because we saw the rain and even some cloudier skies earlier today. But tomorrow, starting off already at about 7 a.m., we're seeing a light possibility of a few showers. It is going to be a morning sprinkle, maybe a morning shower, and then just by lunchtime, that's when we're starting to see the showers get a little more strength. Temperatures still getting into those 90s, but in the afternoon, that's what we're expecting. Brief pop-up downpours. Not everyone is going to continue to see the chance for those brief pop-up downpours, but those showers and those maybe some thunderstorms will continue to keep our temperatures at bay just to about the 94-degree point. Now, like I showed you earlier, we're still seeing that chance of some showers and storms tomorrow. In the morning, we are continuing to see that sea breeze, most of the showers near the Gulf Coast, similar to what we've been seeing the last few days, and then it continues to make its way closer to San Antonio. Not everyone will see them. Once again, it's going to be very isolated as we go throughout the rest of your afternoon, but by tomorrow evening, that's when we're finally starting to see a little bit of a break for some of us. I know it's been kind of a dreary last few days with the rain chances. Now, we do have an area of high pressure returning to areas of South Texas Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but we have another upper level disturbance returning to the forecast Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It does leave by the time we get to next Sunday, but here's that low pressure system we're currently seeing. Now, it's already off the coast of Texas and it's already going into areas of Mexico. But as we go throughout the next few days, we're seeing this area of high pressure start to spew and start to just sit in the areas of the southeast near the Gulf Coast. That's going to continue to make its way into areas of South Texas. That big blue H, that heat high, that's giving us those temperatures in those mid to upper 90s. And that heat high already on Monday, giving us a little bit of the clearing of the skies and a little bit of a clearing in that cloud coverage. But behind it, on Wednesday into Thursday, we're seeing another upper level low make its way closer to San Antonio. This is already starting on Thursday morning. That's when we start to see the first chance of some showers. That's going to continue until we get to next weekend. But as this does, notice once again that counterclockwise rotation. As it goes counterclockwise, it's going to go into areas of the Gulf, bringing us and getting really that deep saturated moisture and bringing it into areas of South Texas as we go through Thursday and even into next weekend. So that's the Futurecast. We'll continue to keep you posted as we go through, but it is going to continue to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Next Sunday, that's when we're starting to see that low pressure system finally leave areas of South Texas. But don't be surprised if you do receive more rain next week. I know a lot of areas are still saturated from the rain we've seen the last few days or even earlier this month and last month, and we're still thinking about everyone in the hill country. But the good news is we are continuing to be drier. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, temperatures continuing to increase into those mid to upper 90s with that area of high pressure making its way into areas of South Texas. Clear skies gives a lot of the first responders more time to continue to do the work, but still be advised tomorrow, 30% chance of rain. Be on the lookout. It might be a little inconvenient, especially because it's the weekend. You want to continue to do your plans. So keep that radar handy. We'll keep you posted on all the brief little downpours you can expect tomorrow and later up next weekend, JP.
It is important to note that we still need the rain, even with what's gone on, but we need to be mindful of where it happens and where it occurs.
Correct.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for that, Shelby. Nick, the fans have been making Cowboys camp memorable, but the real reason is to hear from the players, the coaches themselves, and they've been pretty outspoken.
They have. I mean, you got bold predictions going into this season. One of the best interior offensive linemen, Tyler Smith, made bold predictions when they even just got to camp. We're going to hear from him again today. Plus, the UTSA Roadrunners held a helmets and heels event this morning. Wait till you see how much fun these ladies were having on campus when we come back.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Thomas J. Henry.
Well, you have been camping with KSAT all week long as our KSAT sports team is bringing you all of the Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage that you can handle. If you can think back to when the team arrived at camp, offensive lineman Tyler Smith said that this team is expecting to win a Super Bowl this year. And when talking with the podium today, he shared that the offensive line is going to be a big part of that.
It's on us as a unit to, open up those gaps so that our guys can go out there and eat. And that's something that Shotty's been telling us, not only in the spring, but all camp is, ultimately this team is going to go through us. Like, we're not looking for help. They're not sending help. It's going to be up to us to ultimately, decide, the attitude and the identity of this offense. I love it. I love the challenge. I mean, it should be on us. I mean, that's something that we should embrace. Like, I'd rather we go through this now than, be looking around for somebody to help. And I feel like we got the right unit to, lead this team.
Well, tomorrow afternoon's practice, the Cowboys will put the pads on for the first time, and our Larry Ramirez and Mary Rominger will have full coverage from Oxnard. Over in Houston, the Texans welcomed fans to practice for the first time today, showing all the love to the guys who have bought them 2 straight division titles. But one of the newest faces on the offense, who has played his college ball at Texas A&M, is fitting right in with the Texans culture. Christian Kirk is not only learning a new offense and getting settled in his new city after Houston traded for him this offseason, and head coach DeMeco Ryans has enjoyed having him on this squad.
Christian has been awesome to work with. First and foremost, he's a really great dude. Really excited to add him to our locker room. He brings a great spirit, great energy to our locker room. But you see, as a player, you see the explosiveness that he has downfield, the hands that he has, really quick, whether it's working, in a slot or also working on safeties down the field. He's able to make plays, and that's what I'm excited to see. Just him and CJ's connection continue to grow.
The Texans have the day off tomorrow, and then they'll put the pads on for the first time on Monday.
Pretty much at UTSA, it's championship or bust, and that's a good thing. Our kids feel that. They know that. They understand what it takes to win championships, and we know we didn't do what it took last year. You've heard me say it a million times, pressure is a privilege. Sure, was it nice my very first year when y'all were just happy we won a game, much less 7? I can remember literally bowling to you through a Zoom. We were just so happy to go to a bowl. Now, if we go to a bowl, y'all are all like, what the heck? Why are we not winning championships? That's a good thing.
UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor wants the pressure that put on the Roadrunners, having them on them this upcoming season. The Roadrunners are at the American Conference kickoff and media days in Charlotte this week, and they'll be put to the test in week 1 on the road against Texas A&M. And over at UTSA's campus this morning, the second year for the Helmets and Heels event was on campus. A great way for the team and the players to engage with their female fan base. The proceeds from the tickets bought to attend to the event will go back to the Roadrunners football program and continue funding the team that these fans love. And check out UTSA Athletic Director Lisa Campos getting in on the dunk tank. That is awesome.
I'm glad to see that they're not actually running around the field with heels. That sounds like...
Right. The title of the event might have you confused.
That
However,
sounds like a twisted ankle waiting to happen.
No.
But it looked like an amazing time.
These women were having a blast and making sure that these players know how valued they are in the community.
And most importantly, for a great cause.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Nick.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.
Tomorrow, we do have that 30% chance of rain. Not everyone will continue to see the rain. It's going to be very isolated and very brief. Drying out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with an area of high pressure returning to San Antonio, with more rain chances returning Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, tracking another upper level disturbance making its way to San Antonio. We'll keep you posted on the very latest with all the rain and in the forecast.
The rain and the summer of the rain chances continues.
Yes.
Thanks, that's Shelby. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night.